Day 1 of month 2 recovery, and the theme at the moment is diligence. Month 1 taught me to reel it back, respect my injury, and start taking it a little slower. If I'm doing all the right things but at too high of an intensity, I'm ultimately just doing harm to myself. So beautiful day, off for a walk that ended up being about 3.5 k's at the local spot. Took me about an hour at my natural pace. To be honest, I felt really good after it. Bit of a limp though, as you can see. Anyways, afterwards I shot over to the shops because it was my birthday a few days ago. Got some cheeky birthday money and some cards and decided I was going to put it towards some new gym clothes and some shoes I've been looking at for a while. I never do shit like this, but I think sometimes it can help with motivation to have some new things to put you in a little bit of a different headspace. My other stuff was years old and stained, and it felt like I was back in that first injury putting it on, to be honest. After this, I was headed off to see my family for lunch for my birthday. The first time I was injured, I found events like this, where I can't control all the variables, very difficult, and would often get sore from these. Similar to when you're at work and you just got to do what you got to do. But these events are exactly why charts like this exist. Life makes the recovery process non-linear, and you can't do the best possible thing for your back all the time. That doesn't mean go to lunch and try to squat one of these godforsaken tables that's job is to destroy my spine. But sometimes other things just have to be prioritized at the expense of some regression. Stretches tonight just did not feel good, unfortunately. It can be hard to make the decision to stop stretching because you feel like you're regressing, especially if only a few days ago you were doing the stretch easy. But in hindsight, it's for the best to go back to the drawing board and know your limits. Rise and shine, it is the first of the next 4 days on the 5 a.m. wake-ups. I work morning shifts, so with my back, my routine is to give my body some time to warm up before sitting in a car, then going straight to work. So I get up, shower, make a hot drink and some brekkie, and just move around slowly to start my day. I used to not do this at the start of my first injury, and it was just not ideal. Starting too hard while my discs are still hydrated would just set me up for a tougher day, and I'd always feel like I was on the back foot to pain. Anyways, thugged out the morning shift, another fucking stunner of a day. The days are always easy with blue skies. Another walk at one of the local spots, still moving slowly, still feeling some cramps and sciatica, but not pushing it too hard and just doing a small 2.5k. Doing some reading here. To be honest, I never fucking pick up a book when I'm not injured. But I think this injury, just because it limits a lot of my other hobbies, reading's really comfortable. And it's a beautiful day, so get out and just get some sun on my back. Oh, hello there. This is me lying on my stomach, and it is where you'll find me pretty much every afternoon after I've finished my shift. My back has always been put under the pump, and yeah, I just get sore. This is the best position for relaxation for me. Most lower back disc injuries, it will be the same thing, just that decompression on the spine. But I wanted to film this because it is a really important part of it, because to be honest, this is the majority of the injury, just laying down on the floor and just feeling that pain sort of turn down even just a little bit. When I do it, I always get great relief. Sometimes I'm in the car and I'm thinking about getting home and just lying on my stomach. And it just is the reality of the injury. Stuff like this. You see all the stretches, all of the walks outside, all like the nice weather, but there's also times where you come home, you've had to work, you've had to put your body under a certain amount of stress, and you want nothing more than just to lie on your stomach and just be there. Good morning. I am off to my second job today, and that requires a little more driving than my other jobs, so thought I'd get up nice and early, stop out halfway, and go for a little walk. Found this nice little creek, and I found what would have been a nice loop if there wasn't this floodwater blocking the thing, but hey, you live, you learn. Still a beautiful little sunny day, and headed to work feeling pretty loosened up, which was really good. I got home and gave my room a little tidy, and then did my little stretch routine and hit the hay. Next day, I was doing the bird dog stretch, which I hadn't done in a while, and I was really starting to adopt the McGill Big 3, trying to get my core activation. As you can see, got a bit of work on the form, back leg, the neck, just getting that a little bit straighter, getting the spine a little more neutral. And yeah, I think it's really important to start incorporating some core activation in, because it is definitely something that I've realized I'm weak in when I start doing these exercises again. So yeah, this will be more regular for me. I am a literal unk when it comes to using this camera that I've owned for like 2 years. And I have no idea how to turn the low light up, so it's just dark as fuck in here. I really have a tendency of getting in my head sometimes and creating a narrative with where my injury's going. And it's good to get into the physio and do the same tests. Obviously, you do similar tests as you're progressing on. And doing those tests that you can't do at home can sometimes show the progress that you don't even realize you're currently making. And sometimes they can just be little adjustments that you don't realize you have to make. It can just seem like the world's kind of compounding, and when injuries happen, more injuries come of those injuries. So it just feels like you're getting shoved further and further down, and the climb back is further and further. So yeah, it was really good to touch base with my physio. He's a fucking G. Shout out Frank. And yeah, I'm heading to the gym now, so I'm going to do some different movements that I don't normally do, but I'm pretty keen to do those, especially the back extension, the ISO hold. Start building some muscle up there. Maybe use the treadmill, do some walking backward. Just an update, I just got back from the gym. I was going through different programming. I was doing some knee stuff, and then moved into some hip stuff, and then finished with my back extensions. First of all, my knee at the moment is real strange. I think it's getting better though, because a few weeks ago it was painful all the time. Now it's just tingly when I do shit that it doesn't like. I think from my experience in the back department, it goes pain, then tingles or sensation, and then if you keep working on it, sometimes it gets better. We'll see. Maybe I'll just fucking have an amputated leg in the next episode and you'll know I'm wrong, but we'll see. Outside of that, back extensions, I took them really chill. Just did 30 seconds, assisted at like a good height. See how I feel in the morning, but yeah, I just didn't want to cook myself and wake up in the morning. I've actually done this level of back extension before, so I'm feeling pretty confident. All I got was this busted ass video at the gym to show off my back extensions, but yeah, overall I'm feeling pretty decent, and yeah, I'll see how I go. I've been sleeping okay, which has been good. Just trying to focus on my mindset, making sure that I don't fall into I feel better so I can stop doing these things, or I feel so bad nothing's working, I need to give up, this and that. So I don't normally fall into maybe the give up so far. I don't get that far, but I definitely get to like, oh fuck, I'm feeling really sore, and I'm still stretching, I'm doing this, and oh, the world's against me. But it's like, are you sore, or are you maybe just deeping in too much? So yeah, just going through the motions at the moment, just trying to slowly increment and progress my program, and just keep being mindful, keep being aware of the movements and positions I'm in. Hopefully that goes well. And I'm just going to do a little ramble about injuries that are sustained through chronic injury. I tend to focus heavily on an injury area. I can't stop working on it until it feels better. But then I tend to create other problems in other areas. And I feel this is pretty common. But yeah, last night it was just my thoracic spine that joined the party. And I had similar injuries pretty much all the way up my thoracic spine the first time as well. But this one seems to be up a little higher. Really sharp pain. And this morning it's like I was walking, I felt like I couldn't breathe at points. But it was just super painful. And yeah, it really sucks because it takes away from the lower back. And the uncertainty of it is it's a new injury. If it is disc-related, it can put me in the same boat to where my situation has just doubled. Super scary. But my message to myself is to just calm, relax it. Understand that weekends are sometimes where routine is interrupted and you have to prioritize the mental side of things first. Hanging out with your friends is mentally important. Doing those things that might physically inhibit you but mentally are probably beneficial. And not being so reactive. It's so easy to just jump to a conclusion or be like this and be like that, because if you think, or if I think of the worst case scenario first, it's like, oh, I've thought of that, so it can't get any worse than this. But then it's just unnecessarily stressing you out. So there's no reason to do that. If something is the worst case scenario, then so be it. But if you think it is and then it turns out it isn't, then you've just caused yourself a situation that you didn't have to. So yeah, this is me just jumping on saying that I just need to chill the fuck out and understand that what will be, and just make the small minor changes over a longer period of time, see if that works, and if it doesn't, cool. That sucks, but we go again. That's how it is sometimes. Spoiler alert, I did not take that advice. Instead, I decided to walk around my room like a madman, feeling my back, waiting for the power of God to heal me within a second of time. Holding a heat weight, doing what I can. And I'm not here to beat myself up over it, because when you get sudden, immediate, uncertain pain, it's a pretty natural thing to do to just result into more on the side of a state of panic. But it just doesn't help the situation. And it's easy to say it when you're not in that situation, but once you are in it, it can be a bit more difficult to follow advice said when you're not in that position. Nonetheless, it's good advice, and it has to be adopted for a better way of handling it. Only dub I took was absolutely destroying my mate T-Bone in chess. Advertised here, easy dubs. Hello again. Just thought I would jump on probably about 24 hours after yesterday, since I injured my mid-back. It's tough at the moment. It's still pretty sore. Seems like it's improved slightly. But moments like these is why I wanted to start filming this recovery process. Because there is dark times along the way. And I'm very lucky to have a support system through my beautiful girlfriend, my family, and also the financial support that living at home offers. Like tomorrow, I'm able to take the day off and not have to work to provide, which is an extreme privilege. But that chronic pain combined with uncertainty for what it is, how long it can last, can be really difficult, but most of all lonely. And I think that's where like the dark period of time kind of comes through, because it just feels lonely. Even if there is people that have obviously gone through it before, and it's just hard to rationalize that when doing something so simple can be such a difficult task. I'm just trying to take it day by day and step by step, and hope is a factor. You got to have that. And I'm also just going to try and do what's best for myself and not compromise my lower back. Keep resting, keep recovering. But yeah, I wanted to jump on because these dark times are important for me to document. And if I do eventually post all this stuff, I want it to be so that other people going through those things can see the reality behind that and know that you just have to keep pushing. And that doesn't mean physically, it more so means mentally. So thank you to all of the reasons that I still continue, even when sometimes I can give up on myself. I'm going to keep trying. Just take it slow. And what will be, will be. I wanted to say on the loneliness as well that a big reason why I decided to make these videos is because I know that if I found content like this, I would have loved to watch it and hopefully feel some comfort knowing that there's other people going through things, and hopefully I'd come out the other side with it. But either way, just offering that comfort to there's other people out there and we're kind of in this together. We can find motivation off each other and continue to do what we need to do to put ourselves in a better position. So I hope you find that. And there's things that are uncontrollables. There's things that are controllables. Just focus on the controllables. I saw my therapist today. I didn't book it, it just happened to be today. I thought about cancelling it because it was quite uncomfortable, but he's a G and he came in, I was like, my back's really sore, man. He's like, let's go for a walk. So we went for a walk and spoke about the mental side of the injury, which based on the first injury, I think is just important, if not more important than the physical side. After the first injury, I was extremely depressed, anxious, panic attacks, all things that I'd never experienced before the injury that I think I only experienced after, when I was fully back, just because I didn't know how to digest a lot of things after the incident, and I think a lot of my tendencies sort of rolled over, which leads me into this. I'm not sure how long this pain's going to last. I'm not sure if it's something that is going to hinder me for a long amount of time. But he said something to me about suffering, which was suffering is pain times resistance. And he means that while pain is something that we can't help but feel, resisting that pain is what causes the suffering. I mistake hard work for trying to heal my injury and resisting pain. And they're two things that are hard to differentiate, but they are very different. It's like 3 days after I initially did whatever I did to my mid-back, and I'm still not in a good way. And I need to accept that. I do accept it. I accept this pain. I accept that I can control certain parts of it, and I cannot control certain parts of it. Worrying about the future is pointless, and worrying about the implications, what I might lose, things that I love doing that I can no longer do, worrying about those things brings me nothing. I either do lose those things, and if I've accepted it, then so be it. And if I don't, then I've just worried all this time for no reason. What other solution is there to accept it? You do all these things, you feel all these ways, you can't do these things, but if you've accepted it, if you're in that headspace, if you're grateful for other things, you can't control the pain, but you've reacted to that in the best possible way that you can. This is my first update since Wednesday. Basically, the last time I spoke, I think I still had a sore back. But unfortunately, on Friday night, I was just doing some real minimal stretching. And just it felt really sore, so I was like, I'm going to stop. Went to bed, and then maybe an hour later, woke up in pretty intense pain in my neck region, all through here, in my upper back. And something just didn't feel right, so I went to the hospital about 1 a.m. They gave me some painkillers. Didn't really seem to help the pain. No neurological stuff yet, so they weren't rushing to give me any sort of x-rays or any further testing. It was sort of just unfortunately it's really painful. Don't really know what's wrong with you, but just try and rest and see. That was at the public hospital, and then the day after, so yesterday, I went to the private hospital because I woke up in about the same amount of pain. They did some blood tests, gave me some anti-inflammatory injections into the arm, and pretty much just looked at it again and said, we'll do an MRI on your upper back on Tuesday. And that's pretty much where I'm at. I can't really move my neck up and down. It's still localized, but it's just quite sharp, pretty intense. Feels quite difficult to breathe at times. Sometimes the pain does wrap around into the chest a bit, but it's very difficult to manage a lower back injury with another injury on top of that. And I can definitely feel, just with the amount I'm laying down and resting, just this sciatica flare up in my left leg from the lower back. Haven't been stretching for probably 4 or 5 days. This would be the third day of not walking. Luckily I haven't been working, but just can't get a fucking break. So this is definitely a low point. Probably the lowest point in the recovery. I can't remember what my last video was, but I got an MRI on my thoracic spine and my neck, and I'm expecting a call from my doctor, but I've just seen the results already, and there is a minor disc bulge in my C5 to C6, so in my neck. Disc herniation recovery video just turned into disc herniations recovery video. I don't even know if it's related to my thoracic pain, because that's where all the pain seems to be coming from at the moment. Struggling to eat at the moment. Still a lot of spasms in my back. I've been off the pain meds today, but seems like the mountain just got even taller. I also just gave away my tickets. I was supposed to go on holiday with my girlfriend in around about 3 days, and I pretty much can't walk. So it made more sense for me to see if she could get a friend to go and, actually enjoy her experience and do things that she would want to do that she otherwise would miss out on if she had to accommodate for my old ass. I think I got most of the physical part of the recovery right with my first lower back disc herniation. Now this is going to be a bigger mountain, physically and mentally. But what I'm more focused on is finding whatever techniques and sharing with you whatever techniques is going to help me get through this and come out the other side knowing that the way I handled it mentally was something I could be proud of. I lost my microphone that clips onto me, so I got to hold this. But I remember I was saying about how it's just as important mentally as physically, which I think is my goal. Like I said, was to practice the mental side more than the physical side, because I'm pretty good with the physical side. I allow myself rest. I know when to stretch. And I probably get consumed by my mental a little bit more. So it is 11 o'clock at the moment, and I'm getting the washing off the line. Haven't really been practicing what I've preached so far. Not been doing much today. And last night was the first night in a while where I woke up with calf cramps, which is my lower back disc not liking me. It's been a minute since I've had that symptom, so I was, welcome that one back. But that's okay. I can definitely feel everything getting really tight. It's probably been like 5 or 6 days since I've gone for a proper walk. But the rest of my day will be focused around my mind. Being mindful that I'm doing things that are better for me mentally. I think some techniques that I'm going to employ is to go for a walk, find some things that I can do now that I'm in a bit less pain, that are fun and that are able to accommodate for my physical needs. And also allow myself to not get overwhelmed with any symptoms arising. I spoke with my doctor about the bulging disc in the neck. We're going to work through that when I have an appointment with him tomorrow. But for now, it is about prioritizing up here and shaving this bang average beard. And I want to clarify that when I say I'm not doing much, I don't really do much more when I'm doing something. And I don't mean that in the way of like, I want to do more, like I want to fucking see the sights and make sure I'm being productive and all that. I more so mean that sitting at home, scrolling, watching random YouTube videos just doesn't make me feel good mentally. So that doesn't help in my recovery. I might as well go to work and, physically put my body under stress, but mentally not be overthinking things and not making things harder for myself. So if I'm going to be home, I'd much prefer watch a TV show that I want to watch, read a book that I want to read, listen to a podcast, not just piss away my day doing mindless stuff that doesn't actually feel good mentally. So that's all it is. I'm probably not going to walk until a little bit later, just because it's my mid back's still pretty sore, so I want to build up some tolerance there during the day. But I think I will just go for a little stroll, and outside of that, maybe some really conservative just like hip opening stuff, just because it is really tight at the moment. But that's a 50-50, we'll see. The main thing is to just be a bit more mindful of what rest and relaxation mentally looks like for me and how I can sort of do that. Hello people. Can't even see my face. This feels like witchcraft. I consistently forget that I'm not actually talking to the camera. I'm talking into this thing. So I can just walk wherever I like to. And this is where I like to walk at about this time every single day. Especially recently where my upper back has been a little bit more challenging, because I'm able to just come down here and not do like a full 2-kilometer walk, but just walk around here like a madman for like half an hour. Probably have my neighbors over there looking at me every single day here being like, what is this brother doing? But it's all good. There's a method in my madness. I think I handled today really well. I stuck to what I said and made sure to make it more of a mental thing, as opposed to so physical and get fixated and walk around and have a problem and this is my problem for the day. It's been a lot better to just understand and accept the pain and still be mindful of it, but not fixate. Even when I come down here today, just because I've been cramping, a bit more stiff, notice the nerve is getting worse here. It's like I've been fixating on that. Whereas yesterday, it was like nerve pain in my arm. Day before was in the mid-back. So it's like pick one and then exacerbate it through focus. It's also given me a little bit of time to come out of like the health sphere online. And I think I was just doing way too much. I got to work on my knees, my back, my fucking eyeballs, my earlobes. Went for a walk today, and as I get back into it, it's going to be way more conservative methods, like just simplistic stuff, not trying to do everything, not re-injuring myself. Just feel like up here is doing a lot better, and it's really reflecting down here, and I just want to keep on that path. I am really starting to recognize my privilege of living at home and having enough savings where I can afford to take like 2 to 3 weeks off to stop, like with my last injury, and never took any time off, and just putting so much mental and physical stress on myself trying to work. It's like I have the privilege of not doing that for a few weeks. I'm very grateful for it. And I want to just get to a space where I'm able to just stay at home. You know, I'm not going to heal myself completely. That's not the goal. It's more so to be able to learn to just be with myself in that area mentally. I've spent the last few days editing this video, and its creation has been really beneficial for me in a way I did not expect. I realized that I can create narratives of the past that are mostly inaccurate, and videoing myself has made me revisit these moments and see how that is. It's clear I realized the mental importance of injury in many of these clips, however often the same reactive, fixating, and passive traits that I speak about continue anyways. Seeing a documented version of myself has shown to me this behavior is more cyclical than I thought. I spoke earlier in the video about my therapist explaining the concept of suffering being resistance to pain, and although I could not fully articulate its link at the time, I see how in my case I can often create a physically and mentally harsher environment by struggling to accept the hard truth that even the most optimal lifestyle will not produce instant results. I totally understand why this would be the case. Most tasks in life reward those when completed with traits like concentration, maximization, and productivity. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe this is how it is for everything, where a large portion of the process can be out of one's control. To be honest, I had never worked harder or wanted anything more in my life than to recover from the injury the last time I did it. So I have no experience with any other discipline to compare to this. What I do know is during the process last time, and now some of this time, uncertainty has not been accepted by myself through my actions. Despite all the walking, spine hygiene, and stretching, there is still nothing more important than time. And doing all the right things for it not to work out can require re-evaluation. But there is no fault that lies in this kind of regression.
I got 2 lungs, so I gotta keep breathing, and 2 feet, so I gotta keep moving. I left Stockholm station, passing the skate park now, so I gotta keep booming. This line's gotta get me home, and it's not long, but the route's confusing. But my phone's dying and I'm deep in how fleeting life is, cause I'm scared to be killed. But what kills me is I don't know what's next, and what occupies me like I'm obsessed is what is unknown like the Loch Ness. I'm stressed and I'm hurting, but I'm filling the gaps with objects, and objectively it's crazy, cause I got family living with much less, and there's lives in the streets with much less, and the streets being bombed by drones, and there's people that sell those bombshells, and they want me to give them votes. I walk to the bathroom and I see mold, walk to my kitchen and I see rain, look at my dad's eyes and there's exhaustion, I look at my mum's eyes and I see pain, look in the eyes of my brothers and sisters fighting a system that is insane, so I'm finding a loophole so they can gain, cause it's a game where it's die or play, or stand up. And I'm a hypocrite wishing for change. Well, I'm trying to get bands up. Yeah, I've lost, but I got more on the way. See, I'm realizing the conditions of life don't change. But I'll keep fibbing that I'm okay, that I'm sound.